So today we went to the splash park and it was a total fail because it was sunny but chilly and windy, and so little Zano didn't want to play in the water, and the one area that he wanted to play on was marked off with caution tape, so did not really go that well for us. Before we get into the whole documenting the donos and our zero waste lifestyle in July, I had to do a quick review of Zero Waste Home by Bea Johnson. She's the reason why we are following the whole zero waste movement, and that is because of her Zero Waste Home blog that she's written over the last few years. She was featured in Sunset Magazine, which is where I first found out about her, but before that she was actually featured in the New York Times. And she talked to me on the GenCast live webcast that I did daily for 75 episodes earlier in the year. She talked to me about how in that New York Times article they featured her and it kind of gave it almost a hippie vibe, and so people were more put off. What Sunset did really well was capture her aesthetic. It was that's where I first got interested in her. Her home is so simplistic, it was beautiful, it was white, it was just the things that they loved and really needed most were there and nothing else. So the clutter wasn't there. The things that moms just can't stand, she does very well. First of all, I would definitely recommend putting it in the iPad, Kindle version versus the paper version, is primarily because you're able to go on there and do a quick search for what would Bea Johnson do in a certain situation. So for example, I was interested in what she did for moisturizer. I could just go in there and do a quick search and it would pull it up on the ebook. I recommend this book because it goes through her 5 R's, which is the refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot, and it gives specific recommendations for how you can do that in every area of your home. Within that, she talks about things like how many plates you should have, so really specific things. She lists them out. Then she also includes recipes for the kitchen, because a lot of this is packaged food that you used for years and years, and so you're trying to make it your own. And she has done, and I can test for this because I've had to do my own things in the kitchen that she hasn't listed out in here. We're gluten-free. She's French, very much about the bread kind of thing in her book. So I can definitely appreciate the recipes that she lists in here. If you go onto Google and you do a quick search for zero waste, there's so many different resources out there, and some of them are really intimidating because, like I said, what interested me was Bea Johnson's aesthetic. It was something that appealed to my mainstream lifestyle, whereas some of the zero waste blogs are not so mainstream. They're very they look intimidating. When I see it, it doesn't look like something my packaged lifestyle. Bea Johnson's cupboards look much more like my cupboards do. She talks about she doesn't like the marketing machine and the corporations a little bit in the book, whereas I still appreciate that. I still like the whole making food attractive type of a thing, and so I like her jars and I like her system, and I've adopted a lot of it in my zero waste practices. So check out that book. A second resource that I wanted to mention was the hashtag Zero Waste on Instagram. When I'm nursing, I will look through the hashtag and find different ways to make certain things package free, different advice or tips on how to travel more zero waste, and it's just fun to connect with people that are also interested in living the same lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle. It's something you have to get used to. She talks about it in the book as being really easy, and it is easy in a sense, but it's a transition. Get her book. Check it out. Make sure you check out the Instagram hashtag, and hopefully you'll follow us along with us in the month of July. Shane just ran off to get to go on an errand, and I had him grab a couple growlers to get us beer on the way back so we could have a beer, because it's really nice out right now tonight. But little things like that we're going to talk about in July, like 4th of July, planning dinners, all that fun stuff. So subscribe to the channel and follow along.